Now, in one of my last videos, I did say I was going to talk about the dynamics in terms of black men, why it's a struggle for black men to retain long-term relationships if they're dating outside their race or even within their race. But it's a struggle for black men in particular in America. So I think when it comes to overseas, it looks short term right now. It looks like it's looking better overseas, but I'll definitely say it's definitely has to be better results overseas than dating interracially in America for black men in particular. When we talk about the dynamics of interracial marriages, I talked about why, particularly when we talk about because there's this these stats going around why particularly white man, black women last longer than any other interracial relationships, meaning even white man, they say like even white man and Asian women don't last as long as white man, black woman, or black man, white woman, what else? Asian man, black woman, black man, Asian woman, and like it's like white man, black woman last the test of time. But I explained to people, I was trying to explain even in my live stream and even in my last video, I said this: the power dynamics is perfect because it's actually the power dynamics that most women are looking for, where really they can't. The middle school games that say the average black woman can put on the average black man, it doesn't work on the average white man because they can't get the level of authorities involved to get him checked. It's almost like I'm gonna give you a better example of that dynamic. Almost like, have you ever met a police officer's wife, or like a male police officer's significant other, and how basically obedient she is, or the one or the dynamics of the relationships where the guy might be a little bit abusive, but she's still sticking with him. It's almost that kind of dynamic, but it works for some weird reason. And we talk about why Ike and Tina's relationship lasted a real long time, and people don't understand why, but but it's way more than that. It's way more than just the power dynamics, and I've already explained this. I'm just going to show you some why. And I don't want to talk a whole lot about race this particular year because it's election year, so that can be a bit of a trap. But I've seen this kind of been flown around, and a lot of pro-black men have been mad at this content creator. He's I'm messing out on his name right now, but he basically put out the stat that basically out of all the interracial couples, black woman and white man last the longest, and it's really because of the power dynamics. But I'm gonna bring you an example here, and I explained this in my live show. I'm gonna bring you an example right here, right here. Oh shoot, what happened here? Hopefully that still pulled up. But anyway, yeah, it pulled up. So anyway, here you have a interracial couple right here. And I think he's going to talk about cancer or chemotherapy. So the comment section might be biased. But it's still, when you look at his hashtags, his relationship goals, marriage goals, interracial couple, mixed family. So he's obviously targeting a certain section, right? And here are the dynamics. It's white man, black woman. And what you notice in the comment section, it's mostly positive, right? It's mostly positive. Let's play it out a little bit.
So this is going to start really sad, but it's going to end really happy. I promise. Just stick with me. 3 years ago today, I was diagnosed with cancer. Later that day, we've got a family photo shoot scheduled. We booked it like 6 months.
So that's basically, it's about basically the photo shoot or whatever. But if you look at the comments, it's mostly positive. And if you notice, anytime if you see white man, black woman, right, in like the Instagram posts or Twitter posts, it's mostly a positive comment section, right? And this might be a bit biased because it's a cancer post. He's a cancer patient. But even then, even like remember, even when Kobe Bryant died, people were still talking about how his Mexican wife and the dynamics of, oh, she's taking all this money and it's not going back to the black community. So it's still, you know what I mean? So now compare this comment section, because if you look, if you could take any random white man, black woman comment section, or when Travis Kelce was dating the the black girl, Kayla Nicole, mostly positive, especially from black women. There's a lot of positive comments from black women. They love to see that, right? And not really a whole lot of black men hating. Even the pro-blacks wasn't even saying nothing about Kayla Nicole going with Travis Kelce. But watch this, because this is the dynamics that we're missing here. Let me see if I can hit back. Can I hit back? Oh, I can't. So compare this to, oh crap, here we go. So compare this to the average right here, because this, I got two examples of this. So right here, this is supposed to be depressed, like one of those depressing Instagram memes videos, right? Where a guy is basically, it's one of those depressing videos where a guy is basically jealous. Well, not jealous, like meaning like he's depressed that he can't find love, so he'll post a post from a girl talking about how she met the love of her life in middle school and now they're getting married, and he's just looking at it all sadly. But it's supposed to be one of those, damn, I can't find love. But the post that he's posting, the post he's posting is of a white girl. She met the love of her life in PE, she said, in 9th grade, and now they're getting married 8 years later. It's a black man, white woman. So now all the comments, don't worry, she'll end up a single mother eventually, right? Ew, crossbreeding is so good. It's already like the first 5 comments, it's already about race already. Now, meanwhile, and I'm talking about he didn't put no hashtags. All he just put was a regular couple in his eyes, just a regular couple. But the first thing that they see, white woman, black man, that's the first thing that they see. And they're just like, no. And this is the dynamics of it. This is why I believe if you are a black man, particularly living in the United States, it's going to be hard for you dating anybody in general. Meaning if you even go outside your race, if you stay within your race. That's why I believe as a black man, if you want to really date seriously, I think you're going to have to move overseas. Only because it's just that dynamic, right? If they see it is just they've been together since since the beginning of high school, right? And they still have a problem with it. Why? Because, and mind you, so right here, it's all, hold on for a sec. It's basically all, damn near half of the comments are positive, half the comments are negative, and you can see most of the negative comments. It's always something when it's a black man dating outside of his race, or particularly if it's a black man dating a white woman, it's always a problem. It's always a problem. Now it's not as bad as how it used to be back in the day, but it's still that dynamic. Oh, she's gonna end up a single mother, right? You see, ew, crossbreeding is so gross, right? You say, as a mixed boy myself, why are people pissed at the people of different races loving each other? It's not that. It's when a black man dates a white woman. There's always a problem with that, right? Now, and I explained in my live streams the reason this is why black man, white woman has a really large failure rate long term. Now, these stats are from the 1990s, 1980s, but right? And somebody kind of showed that in one of the posts. But the reason why it has a large chance of failure, then I'll say compared to black woman, white man, white woman, or black man, Hispanic woman, right? Or black man, Asian woman has a large chance of failure, is because of the dynamics of this. Because you literally have, if a girl, say if it's an Asian girl, white girl, particularly Italian white girl, if she decides to date outside of her race, the dudes of her race are literally going to be like, we can't mess with her no more. All the dudes of her race are going to be like, no. And there's already a small percentage of black men in this country, just in general. It's not a lot. We don't, like, black men are not a large populace in America. So if she dates one black dude, she's going to have to date black dudes for the rest of her 20s and 30s, right? And there's not a whole lot of black dudes in general. So this is why when you look at the dynamics and in terms of the math, this is why a lot of white women will not date black men when they're young, especially when they're younger, because it could mess up their opportunities of dating in the future in terms of having options, because there's not a lot of black men in general. And she knows that the men of her race are not going to take her seriously after she's dated, or if they find out that she's been sleeping with black men. The men of her race are not going to take her seriously. He said, just not a single mom, but a single mom with a black eye. And yeah, so the comments said the white dudes in the comments mad as F. But you know, that's the dynamics. You know what I mean? And what's interesting though is I remember I saw there was another post like this, and it was a lot of white dudes that had a problem with the black dude with the white girl. And what was interesting about it was a lot of the white dudes in there that was mad about it. They're all Christian. They all stand on Christianity as their religion, right? I was like, aren't these supposed to be Christians, whatever, the love and whatnot? But like I said, those same white dudes, right? If they had a black wife or a black girl, they'd get a lot of praise on that, and really not really a whole lot of black dudes would be mad at that. The only black dudes that would be mad at that would be the pro-blacks, but people don't take pro-black men seriously. Let me see if I don't know if I still have that post, because I had saved it because I was going to do this segment. Trying to see if I still have it. I'm trying to see if I still have that post. Yeah, right here. So this is why, even because I'll see, like, I remember I saw another post where it was like a white Italian girl. She said, I'll date anybody but a black dude. And it was a lot of black dudes mad in the comment section. But I'm like, you don't understand the risk that women take when they go outside of the tribe, right? And a woman going for a black dude, that's a big risk on the white girl's part. That's a big risk. I'm telling you. Or I'll even forget white girl. If a Latino girl goes outside the race, she's gonna be forever have that label on her. Oh, she be messing with ninjas. Like she can never go back. She's never gonna go back to just her race, because they're gonna put that label on her. She's gonna have to go out with ninjas for the rest of her life, and that's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy on their end. You know, if now in conjunction, if the Spanish girl goes for a white guy, it's going to work. They'll accept him more, because first of all, there's more white dudes than you know, just the proximity, and it doesn't look like a black mark on you. Let me see. So you see this post, was it the life with Brooke and David? Okay, so you see this one, black dude, white girl, right? So she said, this guy I met at work last week told me he was going to marry me. He's crazy. So they met at work. They met at a fast food restaurant. So it seems like a little, a genuine thing. And they ended up together. They have 2 kids. So I guess they met at Chick-fil-A, working at Chick-fil-A. And I guess they started together from the bottom, and now they're here, right? So it looks genuine. But when you look at the comment section, congrats on the McMarriage. Your dad is ashamed. And then here you have and I'll say even on the other side, black men praise this dynamic a little bit too much. He said a black woman would never marry a fast food worker. That's not true. First of all, that's not true. Now here, colorism love with the throw up emoji. And you see white traitor, but that's like from a profile of you don't even know what he is. But it's when it's a black man, white woman, or black man, any other race, it's always the comment section is going to be split down the middle. Some jokes and some positive, and the rest is going to be negative, where it's just like, oh, you're going to be a single mom and all this stuff. Right. So it's really, especially for a black man, particularly that is looking for a serious, relationship, he's going to be going through a lot of hurdles. That's why I remember, I think the CDC had said something about, out of like all the fathers, black fathers are the most involved or the best ones. I think it was both, but particularly they're the most involved with their kids. Because when it comes to black fathers are usually like, they have a threshold. They have to bat 1,000. Right? They can't make no mistakes or they're effed, right? So you have women of all races having the power over black men to put them through the system at any point of any, they can be put through the system and be ran through the ringer. So they're working with that. Then on top of that, they're the most likely to get their kids taken away from them, right? So when you're talking about particularly black fathers, when you see a black father and he's still like involved with his kids, he has to be the best father basically in the world to even have a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like the average black father ends up being literally like the best dads out of all of the dads because they have to bat 1,000. They have to bat 1,000, particularly in America. They have to bat 1,000. So it's now, in my opinion, now every dad has to have that threshold of all races, because usually they always start that BS with black men first just to see if the experiment works, right? When we talk about family separation tactics, those tactics were implemented because they were looking, what is the way to stop black people from reaching a certain plateau? So they thought that the best way to do that was to separate black families. Now, unfortunately, instead of just separating black families, these tactics ended up spreading. Now we have a family separation epidemic in America, all because of a particular group of Caucasian individuals' obsession with black men for some weird reason. I don't know what it is. Okay. And because of their obsession with black men in the past, I'm talking about in the past, now it has messed up the whole country. Instead of people just minding their business, tending to their own families and doing what they do, you know? So these are the dynamics that are also missing when we're talking about why certain interracial marriages work, why some interracial marriages fail. You know what I mean? When we talk about all the stuff that the average man is going through, is these tactics were first implemented to separate black families because they were afraid of a black messiah or something, which looking back in the past, you're like, this makes absolutely no sense. like this makes absolutely no sense when you look at the past, like, because black people are only like, we're only a certain percentage of a population in America. What could a black messiah do that was like so powerful and scary that you had to implement certain like legislation? You know what I mean? So these are the things that are missing when we talk about interracial dynamics. If you have a girl that's particularly dating a black man, or, you know, she's taking that risk of dating a black man that she really doesn't know, that doesn't have any social proof, she's taking a risk. She's taking a huge risk, and black men need to be wary on that end too. So instead of just saying, "Oh, that's not right, man," but she's taking a risk. You know, she's taking a risk. So we have to be careful on that end too.